Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Sharon here from Sharon's Craft Creations, and today I'm going to make a box bag with a continuous zip, and I'll show you how to put the slider on. Okay, my fabric is 2 lining pieces, 2 outer fabrics with some batting or some fleece. You can use it, doesn't matter, it's the same thing. Okay, first things first, then we need to pull apart the zip, and then, because I'm right-handed, the bit I'm going to use which is this one, I think, we're going to cut down by the teeth and then cut that off, so we're just left with that. Okay, so now we are going to thread the teeth onto the slider. So we need the larger part at the bottom that is going to fit our slider on. It is a little bit fiddly, but once you get it inside, it should work. No, it's not playing the game with me today. So let's try this way because I'm right-handed. It needs to go in that little gap there. There we go, I got it. See? And then the next piece, make sure that there's no frayed edges and just cut a little piece off. This just flew over there. And then you thread it through, push it in as far as it'll go. Then you'll be able to hold the tape and hold the other part, and no, not being good. We'll try again and pull. Try and get it that way so that I can show you. And there you go, it's added. So to finish that bit off, I'm just going to cut that off towards the end of the tape, so as the slider doesn't come off, and while I'm stitching it onto the fabric, that it actually doesn't come off and move. So I'm just going to put my pieces of fabric to one side, pulling the machine, and then I'm going to just stitch the ends like so. Okay, just letting me know it doesn't like it because it thinks it's been raised. So now I've stitched both ends together, I am ready now to start and put the zip into the fabrics. So I'm going to put both lining pieces and an outer piece to one side for now, and then I'm going to lay the zip down onto the fabric. It's always best to use too much than not enough, and then you'll be able to get it onto you'll have plenty to work with. Right, I'm just changing over my foot to my zipper foot. They're loosing off fireworks if you can hear it. It's not even bonfire night yet. But some people, they celebrate now, but they are worrying my dog at the moment. My dog is a bit worried, so okay. So now I've got it on. It's okay, sweetie. This is my dog, Rosie. Okay, so now I'm going to sew the zip onto the outer fabric with the teeth face down. And just line it up. There's the one piece. It's like that, so when you turn it over, got nice. And now I'm going to sew one of the lining pieces, so it's on top or right sides together, so the zip is wedged between the two pieces. And I'm just going to repeat sew along. Hold them together now. Here we go. Not quite lined up. Doesn't matter because a lot of it will, the ends will be in the seam allowance. So when we part the pieces, we can see that the zip is in the middle, like so. Okay, now next is our other piece of outer fabric, which I'm now going to lie down and then place the two outer fabrics with the zip, the teeth are face down. So our outer fabrics are now right sides together, and now I'm going to sew the other part onto the zip to create our bag. Make sure the pieces are lined up. As you can see, the slider is nowhere near the needle. If the needle hit the slider, it can break your needle. Let's just put those ends on and cut them off here. Right, so now we're going to do the other side, the other lining piece. So now the lining pieces are right sides together, and the zip is wedged between the lining piece and the other piece that you've just sewn on. Let's just line that up. Of course, you haven't got to use these measurements. You can use whatever measurements you like. At the end of the day, the project is yours, and you can have it as big or as small as you like. So now I'm going to stitch along the top to hold the pieces together. So this is what the liner looks like inside. So here we go. I'm keeping my zipper foot on. I've wedged the side up against the zip teeth to help me and guide me along. And I'm just going to make sure that the fabric is parted to make it straight. And there's the one side done. You can see there. And now we're going to do the other side. Again, I'm going to part the fabrics. And there we have it. Some nice decorative top stitching there. It's just simple but very effective. Okay, so now we've done the zip and put the linings in and done the top stitch. We are now going to stitch along the bottom but leave a gap. I'm only going to do the bottom of the lining and the main outer fabric, and you'll see why in a moment. So first things first, I'm going to do the lining, the outer fabric, sorry. It's these fireworks, they're putting me off. Just change my foot on my machine. What I need to do now is put the bottom part to the zip, and this is going to create the box shape. But first, those pieces of ribbon, I'm going to put them inside there like that. So put them in the opposite way, then when you turn it round it should be okay. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to give this a little quick stitch to hold it in place for now while it's while I'm putting the bag together. Like so. I'm going to line it up the bottom with the zip, and then I'm going to stitch, keep the liner out of the way, and I'm going to stitch right across. Up to the zip, and then you can move the liner out of the way again for the other part, and then again stitch from the zip down. Like so. Then I'm going to repeat on the other side, but this time I'm going to move the slider out of the way, all the way down the other end, and then I'm going to put in my little ribbon. Again, make sure it's in the upside down, as they say. I'm going to put a little stitch in it, just to hold it when I come to it'll also hold the zip in place as well. And there we have it. Now I can cut that piece for now, leaving it long. So match up the base where you've stitched to the middle, and then we can stitch along. Then move the liner out the way, and then stitch again from the zip. Like so. Now I'm going to do the same with the liner. I'm going to stitch along the bottom, but leave a gap. Like so. There's my gap. Done a nice gap there. And now I'm going to stitch the liner now the same way as I've done the outer fabric. So now we're going to sew up the lining, move the wadding and the outer fabric out the way while we sew this up. Again, go to the zip, and then from the zip you can carry on then do the other side. Just be nice and careful and be slow when you go to the zip, because there's such a lot of fabric now there, And then we got the last part now. There we go. So now what we need to do, we need to pull apart and make a triangle, and then measure about 2 inches. So I've got my 2 inches, which is going to be sewing across there now. Okay, and then that last excess bit we just cut off, and then we do the same on the other side. You get your triangle, and then you measure your 2 inches. I'm just doing it by eye, but you can mark it with a pen if you want to. See, and cut that bit off again. That's 1/2 of the lining. Now we're going to do it with the outer fabric. So again, get my triangle. Suppose you could measure it that way. Yeah. Cut it, and then the next arm. That bit off there, like so. So there's the one end done, and now we're going to repeat the process the other end of the lining again. Cut that off. Cut that bit off. Seem to be liking big loud fireworks around here. So now we're going to do that corner. And the final corner. Just wriggle it about. Get your marker in. Oh no, I lifted it before I should have done. Soon tells me off. Right, we've done all the corners. Now we can snip off the ribbon and the zip, and now we can pull it through. Always remember I had my zip open so as I can pull it all through. And there's my one zip ribbon. push. Can't seem to push that one out. And there we have our box bag. Okay. I hope you like this tutorial, and I shall sew up the lining by hand later. And if you like this video, please press like, and if you would like to see more projects in the future, please subscribe to my channel. And once again, thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.